So first of all, welcome from my side also on this press conference. As you know, we started the camp on Monday with with 12 players, because I gave the Pirates players a few days more off because they have an overloaded program and still played the Carling Cup on Saturday. And we have also 4 players who will come with the group next week. So in the beginning, the 8th of December, so last Monday, it was the releasing date for players, but for some or other reason, FIFA changed it to the 15th. So that means that players who are playing abroad cannot be with the national team before the 15th. And I'm wondering what countries like Morocco and Cameroon and the Ivory Coast and Senegal and Mali, who have only players who play abroad, what they are going to do. So they have their players next week, the 15th, and for Morocco, 6 days later they play the opening game. That means again what FIFA thinks about CAF, about Africa. And I'm sure that there will have been pressure of the European clubs to change that date. So that's the reason why Ngazana, Campbell, who's the other one? Yeah, and the fourth. Kabini. No, Kabini is here. Kabini is here. Where's the fourth? Wait, I take my paper. Because, who's the fourth? Sitole. Sitole. So they can be here before next week. I think it's not an opportunity to let them come after the weekend. If you take if you take Sitole and Campbell, and Foster is playing Saturday, so he can be here on Monday. Campbell Bruce is playing Sunday, so he will not be here before Tuesday. Sitole is playing Saturday, he will be here on Monday. But I don't think you can ask those players to travel and being here on Monday and take another flight to Morocco on Wednesday. So I'm thinking about it, that we will leave those players in their clubs and that they will join us next week on Wednesday when we arrive in Morocco. For Ngazana, it's a little bit different. They are playing on Monday, so that means he can't play because it's the day they have to release their players. So we will call Ngazana in the next days because tomorrow he's playing EuroLeague against Feyenoord. So we call him and maybe he can already travel on Friday and be with us on Saturday. So it's a little problem. It's not a big problem, and I'm happy to be coach of a country that the majority of the players are local players, because otherwise you can't start a camp. You have to start it next week. So I don't think that my colleagues in the other countries will be so happy for the moment. Secondly, it was not easy to find a friendly game, so we find it at last, or at least. Next week on Tuesday we play against Ghana. We know that it will not be the best Ghana, because also they have problems to call their players because it's not a FIFA window or whatever. So that means that we are playing against local players of Ghana, but for me that game is not a game of, let's say, a selection game. It's just a training in a game. So it's not so important that we play against a Ghana who is not the strongest Ghana we know. So I'm happy that we have that game. And you think you all remember our last game in the previous before the previous AFCON against Lesotho is what's not really a very good result either. So that shows again that those kind of games are not really that important. And then I speak about the result. It's just a good training, and I'm happy that that we have that game. About AFCON, it will be different for us than the previous AFCON. They didn't took us serious. The previous AFCON, okay, South Africa, yes, bad. But we showed them that we are a good team, and now everyone knows. Everyone knows that we are a good team, and everyone knows we will be ready to fight against us and to try to win against us, because winning against South Africa now is much different than winning 2 years ago. So it will be something different, and I think we have to adapt ourselves on first game already against Angola, that we are ready, that it will not be like last year of last AFCON. We played against Mali, and we saw in that game what we missed. We missed aggressivity, we missed power, but we did it very well in the games after, and we knew that we have to change our style of playing. So that will be now another experience for us to take that step. Also, looking at what will happen in 6 months, it will be again a higher level than AFCON. So therefore, I think it will be also, if we do it well in an AFCON, and we will try to do at least what we did 2 years ago, semi-finals, that it will also help us to play a good World Cup in June next year. I think for the rest you have a lot of questions to ask, so I'm waiting.
Okay, coach. All right, guys, we open the floor. As always, when you ask the questions, please let us know from which publication you're coming from, so the coach knows who is asking the question. We open the floor.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you about where you from, sir? Where are you from, sir?
John came out from the citizen newspaper. My apologies. I just want to ask you about Mbekazi. Obviously, he's going to Chicago, or going to Chicago next year. You've previously not picked players from the US, saying it's difficult for them to get to camp during the season and things like that. Previously, you have not picked players from the MLS necessarily, saying because they're off seasons, they can't get here, that kind of thing. It doesn't necessarily fit in with the South African calendar.
The difference of what?
I'm just asking what your thoughts are about Mbekazi moving to Chicago. Let's just leave
Mbekazi? Yeah. Mbekazi, he just arrived, or we will arrive in 15 minutes, I think. And I didn't want to speak about it, but okay, you asked the questions, and I think you have the right to know that I'm not pleased with what he did. So he let us know that he missed his flight yesterday in Durban. It was the coach of Pirates who informed me. And he was very angry that he missed his flight, because, and that is his words, it's an unprofessional attitude. And I think I spoke already to you about the unprofessional attitudes of South African players. You have again an example of it. And then Pirates sent me a message with nonsense, really nonsense, why he missed his play. And I will not tell you what the nonsense are. Those are nonsense. And that is the worst thing of that the club protect the player of his unprofessional attitude. This is South Africa. And this is very bad. very bad. When you are a 19-year-old guy who received a call up for the national team to play AFCON and to play World Cup next year, and the coach give you a few days more off. If you are somebody with a good attitude, you don't even want those 2 days. And you're here on Monday like the other players. So I will have a chat with him after training. And I can assure you he's a black guy, but he will get out of my room as a white guy. Because that I can't accept. But I know why. I know why. Suddenly, Boki is a star. He thinks he's a star. He thinks he has. This is the attitude of a star. I decide when I come. I will explain him. I will explain him. And I'm very angry of his attitude.
Can you just about the move to the USA as well? You think it's a good move for him to move to the USA?
I will be no. I will tell you what I think. No. No. What is he going to do in Chicago? Yeah. It's not even a top team in America. And if my info is right, I don't know. Don't quote me, but because they told me that they will play in MLS2. That's the second team of Chicago. I don't know. It's the truth. I don't know. They told me. So I will ask him when I see him. That is even worse. But I know what happened. A nice little woman who is his agent and thinks she knows football is doing what many agents are doing. How much can I get? If she is a little bit clever, she knows that there is AFCON, and she knows that next year there is World Cup, that there will be other teams better for his career to go to, and not to Chicago. What is he going to do alone there in the big city like that? So no, I don't think it's a good choice.
Okay, Coach, too much about that, Joseph. Coach, you've got quite a good mix of your squad. Realistically, after the draw, you gave an impression that there's a lot to be done in the World Cup. Now, take us to the AFCON. What are your sentiments going into the World Cup, into the AFCON, looking into the draw that you have, as compared to the draw that you got in the World Cup? Because after the World Cup draw, I felt that you said we should not have our hopes, get our hopes too high.
So, first of all, the draw of AFCON is not bad, but it's a little bit tricky with a team like Angola. 2 months ago, I didn't know so much about Angola, but once the draw was there, I was looking at, and it's not a bad team. All players who are playing abroad also. So it's you can't judge now, really judge now, what we can expect. So, and it's our first game. And when you're in a tournament like this, it's very important to win your first game. You saw last of previous AFCON, we lost against Mali. It was the knife here against Namibia. So we'll try to avoid that because our second game is Egypt. So that is a tough game. So if that is a game that you have to win, then it becomes very difficult. So that is something we have to avoid. And then, you have the traditional Zimbabwe. So, but again, the first game is very important. And I said already before, an AFCON is very intense. And certainly now with the status we have, it will be different. So it will help us also in 8 months when you play the World Cup. And I was very happy, I was happy with the draw for the World Cup till the last team. I hope that we should have one of those little countries. Okay, it's Copenhagen, Denmark, or Macedonia, or Northern Ireland, or Czechia. It will be Denmark or Czechia. Czechia was playing in the group for a World Cup against Germany. I saw the game. They were in the group of Germany. It's not a bad team. So, and that is a little, yeah, how you say, a disappointment for me that we have those teams now. So it will be important to show us there and see how far we can get. I will not tell you now that okay. I don't think that we will survive group stages. No, because if I should have that mind, then I don't have to go to the World Cup. So we will see. We will see in our first game against Mexico. There are things possible, but first thing that has to be is that we are playing on our best level. The preparation for that game will be also different because this is high altitude. So Mexico is 2,250 meters high. So we have to do a high altitude camp. Otherwise, it's not possible. So I have the experience, how many years? 40 years ago with Belgium. We played also our first game against Mexico in the World Cup. And we did a high altitude camp. So it's awful when you arrive there and the slightest effort you do, you're out of breath. So we need to do that. So okay, we are occupied now without, because there was some moment that I said to myself, hey, there is AFCON next month. It's important too, more important now than the World Cup. But still we are occupied from how we are going to do for the friendly games in March. We need 2 friendly games, not against African teams. I don't want to play against African teams. We played enough against African teams. We have to play against Mid America teams like Honduras or Paraguay. What's the other one? Costa Rica or that kind of teams. We have to play against them to prepare our game against Mexico. And then we will see before we do the high altitude camp, and we have to do it in Mexico also. Because the effect, when you go on high altitude and you stay too long again on sea level, the effect is gone. So it will be important that we immediately after the high altitude camp can play the game. And then we have the effect of that. So we will try to play just before we go to camp, maybe against an European team or whatever, but not an African team. And we are occupied with that, and I think we will succeed to have a very good preparation for that AFCON because even we are not one of the biggest countries, but we want to show ourselves. And we will see how far we can get with that.
Good afternoon, Coach Mbekezi from Bafana Media. You spoke about the players that were remaining in Europe whose clubs haven't released them. Thailand is here earlier than the rest of them from QPR. Did it take any negotiating or any discussions with the club to get them to release Thailand before the 15th of December?
Yeah, you can't negotiate because the teams or the clubs said, FIFA said 15. So I can understand for a player like I was very happy because QPR could do the same thing with Thailand. But okay, they released him, and I was very happy with that. With Chandre, the day they got the call up, 5 minutes later we had a letter from Bruce saying, "Hey, no, only the 15th." And this is a little bit bitter because you can do that with a guy who plays with the first team, who plays regularly with the first team. Chandre is always on the bench. or sometimes not on the bench, or he's playing the last 5 minutes. So I'm asking myself, what is the reason to keep that player in your club when you get the opportunity to have a preparation with the national team for AFCON? Chandler played last Saturday with the second team of Belgium, of Bruges, who plays in the second division of Belgium. He scored 2 times. They won 2-1. He played fantastic. So that is good that he's playing games and that he's not only on the bench and coming in. So, yeah. But for Ngezana, I told you already, he's playing Monday, so I don't think there will be a problem. Only he has to play tomorrow, EuroLeague. And Lyle is playing on Saturday, but again, yeah, you can negotiate. Those are the rules, and I think maybe I should do the same when I should be a club chairman or a coach from a club, and it is an important player. Surely I should say no, no, no. He stays here till the 15th. But I think that some clubs had to be a little bit more how you call that. Uh, yeah, thinking more at the player than because if Chandra is not there in Bruges, it's not the reason why they should lose the game. So yeah, but again, those are the rules, and we have to accept.
Coach, maybe here again, there are different ways of progressing to the next stage at this AFCON. How important it is to finish on top, looking at all the permutations of what happens next?
It should be a little bit how you call that disappointing, even bitter, if we shouldn't survive the group stages. We can't afford ourselves to do that. So there will be a little bit more pressure when we start the games in 2 weeks. At the other side, we need to have the ambition after our third place in the previous AFCON to do at least the same and even try to do more. I think we have a good team, and when you have the opportunity to do that, you have to grab it because maybe it will not return or not return in the near future. So I think we are ready to do it. We have the quality, we have a good team, we have the mentality. So our ambition has to be semi-finals. And if we can achieve that, and with the intensity of the games on AFCON, it will help us again. It will help us again 6 months later in the World Cup to do good. Because that was maybe something we missed in the previous AFCON in our first games. We didn't know what to expect. The players didn't know what. So now we have already that experience. We have another experience now in the AFCON, in the next AFCON. I think we only can be better to do a good AFCON and to go to the World Cup maybe with a little bit more ambition. Oh, there you are.
Hi, Coach Tarian Nganga from Eyewitness News. My first question, you speak about having a good team. A player that you backed very early on when you started is Oshun Apolis. Looking at how he's progressed with the move to Orlando Pirates, just your thoughts on how he's grown as a player and how important he'll be in this tournament. And then the second one.
Do the second later. So first of all, Oswin. I think Oswin make a very big progression. So when I saw him playing in his former team, okay, the qualities were there, but yeah, it was sort of only in offensive way. So I think Oswin became more mature now. He's playing in Pirates, and I think his coach there helped him a lot. I see him working now. He works a lot. He's dangerous on the ball. He's good passing. He becomes very important for Orlando Pirates. and he also becomes very important for Bafana Bafana in the past games. He scored goals. He's always dangerous when he is on the ball. He helps us a lot when we don't have the ball. So he progressed a lot, and I'm very happy with him. I'm very happy, even when he's small. But yeah, he has the energy of someone who is 2 times higher than him. So I'm very happy with him, really.
My second one is more about you personally. You're entering your last year in football. The countdown has started. It's AFCON now, and the World Cup in 6 months. What are the emotions like for you as you're getting into camp, dealing with the players, and thinking about the World Cup?
I don't want to think about it too much now. I think it will be a very emotional moment, the moment we have to leave America because we are out of the World Cup. Because then I will feel that this is the end. So I don't want to think about it. And even when people ask me that question, I said, yeah, okay, we will see, we will see. It's still 8 months. So I want to enjoy what will come. I want to enjoy the AFCON. I want again to do good results with that team. And I want also that we show South Africa in the World Cup. And I decided to stop. It's my decision. But it will be not easy. When the moment will be there, that it's finished. So I hope that that is enough of as an answer, and ask me the question in 8 months.
I don't see any hands. Oh, okay.
Could just a little follow-up to what Torage has asked you, but on a different level. Your route to the AFCON has been, full of questions, after, more especially after the selection of some players and leaving out of some players. How have you kept this bunch positive going into the AFCON with all the noise that has been made outside?
The all those reactions are concerning me. So the players don't have to be concerned about that, and everything stays the same. And I think after 4 years here that you know me, that whatever they say, whatever they write, I just do what I want to do. And I read also the propositions of the media to take players with the group. And I was laughing. I was really laughing because this shows again that some people of the media uh, are not judging a player on his qualities, but just because he's a friend of them, or maybe they have advantage to write that in the paper. You can, okay, we will talk about someone. So the last 3 months, there is only one name who always came back: Lodge, 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 Lodge. Did everyone see what Lodge, the performance of Lodge of the last 3 years? Nobody. He played in Pirates. He was out of the team. They kicked him out. He was happy that Rulani was in Sundowns. He came in Sundowns. He played a few games. Finished. They kicked him out also. He went to Morocco, first year. Now suddenly, the last 3 months, he played good. Don't you think that we don't know that? But I don't look at that player from, oh yeah, I like Lodge. No. I look, what is his qualities? Offensively, defensively, can he help the team? And when I evaluate that player, I have to say, no, he can't help us. Finished. Done. And then some people can be angry, and some people can call me stubborn and whatever. They do what they want. I just decide, and that's all. And the boys I decide, or the boys I call up, those are the boys I believe in, and they know it. I will never take somebody that I don't, of who I think he will not help us. So you can write what you want and say what you want. That's your business. That's your job also. So I understand that. Yeah, a little bit. It's nice. Okay, but it doesn't affect me at all. And I think the media has to know it after 4 years. So just go and just propose and think that I make the bad choices and so on. It's your job. Okay.
Okay, yes.
Excuse me from the SABC coach, the match against Ghana, you said that it's likely to be the B team of Ghana. But are you happy with only one match leading up to that? Is one match enough?
Yes. You know how many matches we played this year? And all against African teams. So why do we have to play another 2 games against African teams? I don't want to prepare the World Cup by playing against Argentina or whatever. No, we are playing AFCON. So what can we learn to play again 2 games against African teams, or like last month to play 2 games? And again against I don't know who, Kenya or whatever. What can we learn about it? Nothing. We know African teams, and we go to a tournament where there are only African teams. So why should we play now 2 games? Why should we play 2 games in November? We played how many? 8 games, I think, last season, this year. The qualifiers for World Cup. Friendlies in June. I don't see a reason why we should have played now 2 games, and also in November again 2 games. Certainly taking in account that the majority of my group are players for Sundowns and the Pirates. They played enough games, and we have a certain kind of style how we play, tactic how we play. Everyone knows, so we don't have to train something by playing games. So for me, it was not necessary to play more games after the qualifiers of the World Cup.
Coach, just help me clarity. You've always had Sinesiko as your only eyes, but it looks like you're taking two now. With Tinashe from Sundowns, is it true that you're getting two analysts? And if you are, how important it is to have a pair of extra eyes to help you at the tournament?
Tell me again, because I didn't really understand you.
So I'm saying you have always had Sinesiko as your analyst, but I'm told you will be taking two.
Oh yeah,
Tinashe from Sundowns.
you
Does
know,
this mean
you
that
know,
you
you know. Last AFCON, Sine, our analyst, was working day and night. So once you're in the tournament, so you play every 3-4 days. So that means that after the first game, he has already analyzed the second game, but we ask him also to make a debriefing of our first game. It's a lot of work. It's watching the game and stopping and taking parts of it and whatever. And we thought that he needed help to do it. I know that in the last or in the previous AFCON, Senior worked during all the night, some days and some moments, and you can't do that. So now he has a help. So they are with two. It will be more easy for them, and I think it's not luxury as a national team to have two guys who analyze the games. So I and Elman and I, we are looking also at the games certainly, and we let them making the analysis, and then we see, oh no, not that, no, hey, you didn't put that. So we look, but most of the time we don't have to say that. So I'm very happy with Sine, and the reason is not because I'm not happy. No, the reason is that Sini will have his night rest now, and that he will not have to work day and night. And therefore also we extended also the medical team, because also there our physiotherapist and the masseur, they, after the game they worked also day and night. So we have extended that also, so that becomes a little bit more easy. Now we don't need it really, but once you are in tournament, yeah, there are treatments to do, there are massages, it's a lot of work before and after training. So it's also there. It's not a luxury to have someone more.
Okay. And then that will be the last question.
Coach, you've spoken about how upset you are, with the behavior of a certain player. But generally, do you think that this is something that the country can try to stop? How are you going possibly to help the players to remain disciplined, irrespective of how good you are on the pitch? How can you possibly help them going into the tournament and beyond?
It's very easy with that group. I never had problems in the past. Um, there have been some moments that I have to have a chat with the group and tell them, "Hey, guys, I will not accept that anymore." But everyone knows now when they are coming to Bafana Bafana what I want. And okay, this is something special what happened with Mbekazi. But again, I will react and he will know and he will never do that again, you can be sure of it. But for the rest, it happens that sometimes someone is still sleeping and I didn't hear the alarm and come 1 or 2 minutes too late. Okay, you tell them very, very nicely, "Hey, guy, okay, okay." That's all. So this group is also a group who is very disciplined in everything. So it becomes more easy for me also. I don't have to every day tell them, "Hey, you are too late." Hey, no, no. It goes automatically, and he can witness that. He was with us. There's never happening something like that, or it is occasionally. So I don't have problems with that, not at all. And the players I have to congratulate the players for the discipline they have from themselves.
Coach Sloan Davison, you mentioned that this what you had between tournament as South Africa now has been noticed of how they play. How much pressure does this give you and the team heading to this round?
Oh, pressure! You make the pressure yourself a little bit. I know that everyone and we know all that everyone expects us. The only thing I heard the last 3 4 weeks when I met someone outside or in the group when I do my groceries, "Hey coach, we win AFCON. Eh? Hey coach, bring us the cup." So everyone is expecting that, but yeah, you don't have to come back every time with your players. "Hey guys, hey, we have to be in the semi-final. Hey guys," then you put yourself pressure on that team. They know it. And also they want to win AFCON. Don't think they don't want to win AFCON. So I don't have to put pressure there, or I don't have to repeat them every 2 3 days. "Hey guys, come on, we have to win it." We don't have to do that, and it should be a very bad thing to do it, because then as a coach you put the pressure on your team. The only thing I have to tell them is to prepare them of what will come. And what will come is what I told already from the beginning. The status of South Africa is different than 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we were one of the teams. Now we are one of the best teams in AFCON. So our opponents will not make the same mistake, I think, that Morocco did in the previous. They thought, well, South Africa, we beat them 2-1 for the qualification. And here we beat them, but yeah, okay, everything was decided. So I think they were a little bit too relaxed against us. It will not happen again now, and we have to be aware of that.
Final questions.
Coach Bafana Bafana from our family. Coach, you speak on you wanting to enjoy the last 8 months, at the helm of Bafana Bafana. When you look back at the two AFCONs that you've been to, the one with Cameroon, the last one with Bafana, going into this one, what what are you looking forward to holistically, not only just from a coaching point of view, but holistically the whole thing?
Yeah, when I'm honest, I think what we did with South Africa was better than what I did with Cameroon. We built a team here, and that team progressed day by day, and then you go to AFCON and you have ambitions, but you never think that one moment you should have the opportunity to play the final. The first time, I think, yeah, 95% of the group, for them was his first AFCON they played. So you don't expect that. So, but the progression we made was enormously. Cameroon was a team, they were used to be in an AFCON. They were seen as one of the favorites to win AFCON. So it was a little bit different, and the pressure was also much higher in Cameroon. So I think what we did with South Africa here, we third in the previous, again now, 2 times in a row, qualified for AFCON and qualified for World Cup. I wasn't with Cameroon. We won AFCON, and 4 months later we were out of qualification. So Nigeria went to AFCON. So what we did here is, for me, I'm more happy with the work I did here than with the work I did with Cameroon, because this was, you can expect that from Cameroon when you go to AFCON. But I don't think that everyone here in the room, and even I, expected 2 years ago that we should play the semifinals. So, yeah, it was a great campaign, and it's still not finished, not at all. So we will see now in 2 weeks, and then again, yeah, I will try to end my career with a fantastic performance in America. Oh no, in Mexico now. It's not America anymore. Yeah, it's very nice for me, really.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are training in the next few minutes over there. You guys are more than